Well, it's going to be a game for the big boys. Jordan Mickey and Jarrell Martin are both two really talented players that use their size to their advantage, both in the post offensively. Jordan Mickey, a premier shot blocker. He's averaging right around 4 shot blocks a game, maybe just a shade under. Does a good job of not leaving his feet and blocking shots off the ball. They have real good size. I mean, their whole team has good size. They started Quarterman last game at the point, so they're playing 6-6 at the point. They made a little bit of adjustment from what I gather to bring their team more energy. But the focal point, you know, for them, for themselves, and for us is the two players in Mickey and Martin.
Are there things that Andrew did well that maybe the stat sheet didn't show against Florida?
Well, I mean, I think that he played a pretty good floor game for the most part. Just wasn't as aggressive as he was the game prior. We need that from him. We need that energy. I really believe that our team feeds off of him energy-wise on both sides of the ball, not only in transition pushing it, but with great ball pressure on the defensive end.
Do you think teams like Florida and LSU, teams that beat you guys last year, come into this year with more confidence knowing that they can and have beat you guys in the past?
You'd have to ask them that question. There were a lot of teams that beat us last year, and we just played well at the end of the year. But all these teams are different now. I mean, you take Florida; they had a veteran team last year, you know, kids that played together for, 4 years. I think with this LSU team, they lost Johnny O'Brien, which was, their best player last year, and they were even bigger last year, playing Martin at the 3 with O'Brien and Mickey in the lineup. So LSU's different. The LSU's pushing the ball a little bit more this year, but everything changes. We're a different team this year than we were last year, so I wouldn't read too much into that.
Now, what kind of a luxury is it for any coach to have a lot of options to try?
I never had any. That's why I got fired. I mean, it's great. I mean, it's good on a couple different fronts. One, if someone's not playing well, you can go to another player and have a backup, and that's the luxury that we do have. If you're not bringing it every day and you're not bringing it every night during games, we're going to go to somebody else. Coach is going to do that, and these kids know that. And that's why our practices have been so good, because they've all been competitive. And, if you take a day off in practice, it really shows, and it shows that maybe someone else deserves that slot.
What does Trey bring you guys are missing right now without him?
Well, he brings you a 6'10" skilled player that can be a matchup issue for the other team because he can play 3, he can play 4. Just a skilled player. We've gotten by without him. He's going to get you some rebounds. He's going to he can shoot the jump shot. He can put the ball on the floor, and he's a matchup problem like Darius Miller was. And he's bigger than Darius, but that was always the thing with Darius, that if you played him at the 3, it was smaller. You could go buy a bigger 4. So just matchups.
Is there a previous opponent, John, that reminds you of Mickey and Martin and the challenges they bring?
Probably a little bit like Kansas. They're bigs, although probably size-wise. But these two kids can both shoot the ball. They're very, very effective from 17 feet and in. Not prolific 3-point shooters. Martin will shoot a couple a game. But from 17 and in, they're really, really good. They're really, really effective and shoot a high percentage at that range. So that's different. I mean, they can play high-low and play some post-up game, but yet they can catch, turn, and face out in the perimeter and be able to shoot the basketball.
Is there any added challenge to facing one of these road environments, considering you just did it 2 days ago?
No, I mean, I've been here 6 years, and every game that we've been on the road has been the same way, except last year when we went to LSU and it was the ice storm. They're always sold out, and I think this is the first sellout there since 2006. They're excited for it, and I think our kids, you know, like playing on the road some too. And you know, so far they've done a pretty good job on the road.
Is Carl hitting his stride right now, Carl?
He's playing with confidence. The thing that impresses us the most is that he's coming up with tough plays, tough rebounds, second chance points, being a little stronger in the post, not settling for fadeaways and weak shots. You know, last game against Florida was a bonus when he was hitting that 15, 17-footer, but when he shot those shots, he was aggressive. He jumped on them. They weren't tippy-toe shots, and he had it going and knocked down his free throws.
John, you guys get to hurt the other team inside, and with Devin especially, but Aaron from the perimeter also. How does a shot blocker like Mickey maybe impact? He can protect the basket, and the other guys can stay closer to the shooters?
Well, it's a little bit like us. We're just not blocking as many shots as we have been earlier in the year. We don't know why that is, but we need to get back to it. But one thing you can't do against a shot blocker is change your game. You have to be aggressive in taking it to the basket and you know, play through contact. But he has an extraordinary talent. You can tell that, and not only does he block shots, but he keeps them in play for the most part too.
How would you describe this team's edge right now? I mean, you know, coming off a game like that, you feel like they still have that kind of killer instinct, or you feel like it's just kind of, it just goes from game to game?
Well, you know, obviously we're really happy with the win at Florida. We were off yesterday, so we're just getting ready to go back and practice now. So this is our first practice since the game. They've been really level-headed all year. Doesn't seem like a whole lot affects them. We're going to put in a great game plan today for LSU tomorrow. Practice, get on the plane and go down and get ready to play tomorrow.
John, you mentioned that opponents are getting to the rim more and scoring, finishing more. And you have your shot blockers, of course, and the size. Well, you said you don't.
Well, Florida was a little different. They really spread the court, and you know, you could tell watching the film afterwards that was their game plan. Our guards have to do a better job of not letting them get straight line drives to the goal, sort of playing them on their side a little bit, and you know, being spread out, it's tougher to shot block. You know, we'd rather you know, drive the ball to the rim than shoot 3-point shots. But we'll get back after that, I'm sure.
What about Hornsby? What sort of threat is he from the outside?
Well, I'm really impressed with him. I know he transferred from Asheville. When we played down there last year, he was out on the court. You guys probably saw it as well. He worked out for an hour and a half prior to the game. He brings them a toughness. He plays really hard, and that's an overused term, but it just seems even watching the film that he's given it 100% on both ends of the ball. He's their best perimeter shooter. I mean, you know, anytime that you can add a double-digit score to a team with two big guys like you know, Mickey and Martin is very helpful.
John, Carl mentioned too that as John did on the teleconference, that it's been a long season, and John said he's going to try to give them 2 days off per week. And Carl said that helps the players. It also helps the coaches, he said, with a smile. How wary.
Who said that, Carl? I mean, you know, we gave them off Sunday after the game, you know, Saturday. And then what we typically will do is, you know, on the other day is show film and do some individual work or get a lift in. But it's keeping them off their legs a little bit and cutting back, especially this time of year.
Are the coaches getting a little fatigued?
I mean, if you're not at this time of year, you know, it's a long season, and you know, we hope it continues a lot longer. So, but you know, every coach in the country is in the same position right now, and you know, we're just getting ready for the next game.
Two more guys. Have you seen Trey today?
I have not seen Trey today. You know, just I'll see him here when we go into practice.